Melina Vicario, la biohacker, y hoy estoy cubriendo la Conferencia Mundial de Biohacking en Los Ángeles, organizada por Upgrade Labs. Y tengo una entrevista fabulosa con él, el CEO de Upgrade Labs, un emprendedor sumamente exitoso con mucha experiencia en venture capitals. Él es Martin Tobias.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being today in this interview, Martin.
Thank you for having me.
So, Martin, how would you describe biohacking?
Well, the funny thing is, biohacking was something I didn't grow up with. I didn't even know the word 3 years ago. But for me, it's about taking control of your own biology and using some of the advanced technologies we have to increase the vitality and health in your life. The way I was living my life before, and the way most people live their lives, is eating maybe as best they could and trying to work out, but waiting until they get sick somehow and go to see a doctor. I don't know what it's like in Latin America, but in America you have less than 12 minutes a year with a doctor. And when I realized in my mind that my whole plan of life to stay healthy was to wait for this guy who has 12 minutes for me, and that's decided that I realized that was not really a very good plan. And so for me, I started biohacking and trying to figure out my own biology because I realized no one else is going to do it. The doctor is not going to know as much about me and my biology and my data when I come in for the 12 minutes. So it's really on me to figure out what kind of diet I should eat, how to improve my sleep, because, and the cool thing about it, what the community Dave Asprey has created with biohacking, with the blog of Bulletproof and the things we're doing at Upgrade Labs, it's now possible for someone anywhere in the world to learn about their biology and become, frankly, smarter than your doctor, smarter than your fitness instructor about what's good for you. And it doesn't take that much time. And I was a normal person 3 years ago, but now I've had all these amazing transformations from this biohacking. And and I don't think I'm smarter than anybody else. So it's been exciting.
So, Martin, you are one of the most successful entrepreneurs and venture capitalists that we can find in the world.
Okay.
And how have you used biohacking to become so successful, and what tips would you give to entrepreneurs or people who want to be entrepreneurs?
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that, I've only recently in the last sort of 3 years taken up the biohacking thing, but when I was a young CEO, I believed, like many people do, that all you have to do is work harder and don't sleep and just, work. But what happened to me is that came to an end. That you burn the candle at both ends and eventually it turns to nothing. So what I realized is that if I wanted to, as I got older, I'm 55 now, if I wanted to have vitality like I did when I was younger, I had to change some things the way I was doing it. And that's how I got to biohacking, because Dave told me a couple of the tips that he was using to live to 180, and frankly, many of the ideas sounded like fairy dust, sounded like lies. He said there's this machine that can increase your testosterone by like 100% in 2 weeks. And for a 55-year-old man, having a higher level of testosterone is a really amazing thing. It improves your cognition and everything. And I said, okay, I want to try that. So I tried 2 or 3 of these things myself, and they helped me. And that's how I got convinced that I could help others, is that this testosterone machine increased my testosterone from 468 to 1098 in 2 weeks. Wow. So I had the testosterone level of a 25-year-old at 55, which is an amazing hack. There was another machine that I tried that increased my aerobic capacity. It's called Breathe Easy. It's structured water. But anyway, it helped me ride up the mountain on this hill climb 20% faster after only 1 week of doing it. And there was another thing that I did, which was I was in a brain scan and measuring my brain activity, and taking this one injection called NAD, I was able to increase my brain electricity function by 66% in like a week. And by having a brain that's that much more firing, I was able to make decisions better and think faster. And so I don't know, I just got much more vital in my life on those three things. And as far as entrepreneurs, I mean, that's one of the, I think, key skills. So I do a lot of venture capital investing as well. I've invested in over 80 companies. And for the last 3 years, I haven't invested in any CEOs that don't meditate. Because for me, you know, one of the keys of being an entrepreneur is not can you work harder than the next guy, but do you have the skill to reset, to calm down, and to be able to approach the challenges that are going to come in your business with calm and equanimity. If you're constantly stressed out all the time and in fight or flight, you're going to end up making bad decisions. You're going to burn the candle at both ends. And frankly, for me, meditation and technology-assisted meditation, some of the things we have here, like the virtual float tank and like the Trip platform, are a crazy hack because it allows you to disconnect your sympathetic nervous system and get into parasympathetic. And it's really the skill of being able to reset from the stress to be able to handle more stress. It's not just how much more stress can you stack on top, but it's how skillful are you at resetting so then you can be better at, because the stress is always going to come. The people that I think that end up being weak or breaking as entrepreneurs are people that don't have that skill of resetting. And frankly, meditation and some other things we do at Upgrade Labs have done that. So I would encourage all entrepreneurs to figure out how can they get recharged? How can they get back up to get back in the game? The skill of being an entrepreneur that I find is key is your ability to get back up. Not your ability to withstand tough punches, but to get back up.
Get back up. That's wonderful. And what are your 3 favorite free biohacks and your 3 favorite paid biohacks?
Paid biohacks. Free ones, well, the first would be meditation. And you know, you can have apps for that or these kinds of things, but I do a TM meditation mantra-based thing, 10 minutes a day, twice a day. Meditation is pretty easy and available to learn. I think the second thing would be some kind of cold therapy in your life. And yeah, right. And the simplest way to do that is when you're taking your shower in the morning, take your regular shower, and then at the end, turn it to cold and stand in there as long as you can. And if you can stay there for 5 minutes, it's going to be amazing. That activates back fat and all sorts of good things. Another thing to do, which is cool about cold, which is free, I was in London last week and one of my crazy friends goes and swims in the Serpentine, which is a river in Hyde Park, and you can just go jump in some cold water and swim for like 10 minutes. You don't have to get anything crazy like you know, a cryotherapy chamber. So cold therapy and meditation. And then the third would be just to, well, it's not exactly free, but track your sleep. I mean, I have the Aura Ring, and pay attention to your sleep. Start getting some data on it, because most people think maybe they sleep well, but as I started to track the data on this, I realized that what I was eating and how many drinks I would have at night had a significant impact on your sleep. And you can't manage anything that you don't measure. And so getting good quality sleep is very inexpensive to change the habits, but the first thing you have to do is start tracking your sleep. And then the paid ones, good. Let's do that one because that's our business. So, you know, obviously one is cold therapy, and I like cold in the cold shower, but if you want cold therapy more efficiently, you can go to a cryotherapy chamber and get negative 240 degrees for like 3 minutes. So it's much more an efficient way to get cold therapy. It is more expensive. The second thing on the, you know, like an upgrade to meditation would be to go somewhere that has neural feedback or some of these brain training technologies. These systems are expensive, but for example, I went to the 40 Years of Zen program, which is Dave, and what that does is promise with technology to give you the benefits of 40 years of meditation in a week. And anything that can get the benefits, because I don't know that many people that like want to meditate or want to spend more time doing something. What they want is the benefits of that thing.
Yes.
And the whole idea of biohacking is how do we get the benefits in the least amount of time? So some of these things take a little more money, but you can start the benefits with regular meditation. If you do neural feedback or an intensive program, that's another great way to restructure your brain. And then the third way I would say, is to go somewhere with really efficient working out. Because I used to run and bike and stuff like that, but you don't end up putting enough strain on your body really to get big benefits, even in an hour of running. Plus, like running, I had to stop running because I got a patella tendon injury from overuse, and a lot of sports people do end up getting them injured. But if you do things like the ARX machine, which is resistance training, or the Vasper machine, which is gives you a 3-hour workout in 20 minutes, there are some workout technologies that'll give you the benefits of exercise in less amount of time. And those are really worth paying for, because instead of doing a 3-hour workout, you do a 20-minute, now you've just bought yourself 2.5 hours of time in your life.
Yes.
So that's a good return.
It's a wonderful return.
Yeah.
And well, I know that you have children.
Yes.
And we were talking about biohacking your children.
Mm-hmm.
Is there maybe one tip that you can give people who have children and want to biohack their children?
Well, I'll give you 2 tips that I've used with my kids. My young ones, 8 years and 3 years. The first is to teach them some breath work or meditation, some way to calm themselves. Because a lot of times kids get all caught up in their heads, or they get frustrated at something and they don't have a way to reset. So I taught my 8-year-old daughter the box breath. Do you know that one?
Yes.
Yeah, where you breathe in. And so when I see that she's frustrated at something, or wants to punch her sister, I go, stop, do a box breath. And she breathes in and holds her breath and then breathes out. And after 2 of those, she's calm. She doesn't want to punch her sister anymore. So that's kind of a biohack, but that's a skill that kids don't get enough, is a way to calm themselves and to get their own brains out of fight or flight, which is the same thing we do with neurofeedback, but you can do it with breath. The second thing we do is we give them the True Dark glasses. I see you're wearing the yellow ones. But my kids had problems sleeping, and when we gave them the red glasses and had them first of all, they think they're kind of cool. They look like rock stars or something. But it reduces the blue light, it calms their brains down, and they're able to go to sleep. It used to be a crazy fight at night with my kids to go to sleep. I don't know if you've had that experience, but any parents who have will value the giving them that red or yellow hue, and it calms them down. They're able to go to sleep better, and then they get the benefits of the sleep. So those have been amazing for my kids.
Thank you so much for this wonderful interview, and we are excited to learn more about the Upgrade Labs and about you.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Thank you.